Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. For today's video, I thought I'd do something a little bit different. I thought I would show you guys around the garage. I put a few finishing touches on the garage in the last couple weeks, so I thought it might be a good time to show you guys around. Show you the cabinet system that I have, the tool chest, and everything like that. So let's get into it. All right, I guess we'll start off with what is probably the centerpiece to the garage, which is the New Age cabinet system I have here. And so this is the New Age Pro series. They make a few different garage organization systems, cabinet setups. The most popular are probably the Bold series and the Pro series. They're popular enough to be carried by Costco. And so they're very similar in how they look, but the biggest difference is sizing and a few other things. So right here, this is the New Age Pro series. So this is the higher end of the two between Bold and Pro. This is taller, wider, and deeper than the Bold series. It comes with features like soft close doors and drawers. What sets the Pro series apart from the Bold? Mainly the dimensions. So the Pro can hold a lot more than the Bold. The Pro series is taller, wider, and deeper. So if you want to look at dimensions, for example, these large cabinets are 80 inches tall by 36 inches wide by 24 inches deep. And so the depth carries into the work surface, 24 inches again. Whereas the Bold is only 18 inches deep, and their larger cabinets, for example, are 75 to 77 inches only and 30 inches wide, as opposed to, again, 80 tall and 36 wide on these. So there's quite a bit more storage in the Pro. The Bold is, of course, a lot more cost effective, but if you don't have that much space to work with, the Pro is gonna be the more efficient bet for storage. So one of the biggest differences between the Bold and the Pro is that the Pro has a thicker gauge steel. So you're working with an 18 gauge steel in the Pro, and I believe the Bold is a 24 gauge. The Pro here has soft close hinges on everything as well. Both of them come with your option of stainless steel countertops or bamboo. And one of the other differences between the slat wall, which I'm not a huge fan of, but is the slat wall on the Pro is diamond pattern, whereas the Bold is just a clean, smooth pattern. But there's no way to get around that because they're different dimensions. So I couldn't just order the Bold slat wall instead of the Pro slat wall. There is optional lighting if you wanted to purchase that. I did not purchase that. I decided to purchase my own lighting off of Amazon, which is what you're seeing, and which is why there's a white cord sticking out there. The cabinets come fully assembled. The only thing you have to assemble are putting on the feet, and they're adjustable in height, but that's about it. Put on the feet and then mount up, the cabinets on the walls. These cabinets mount to each other, and you can mount to the wall. So like if you only buy a setup with two cabinets, you can get away with not mounting it to the wall. You can mount them to the two larger cabinets on the side if you want. Since I went 3 wide, I mounted mine to the studs on the wall. I also mounted them to the ground. You can also, you can mount the entire cabinet system to the wall studs if you want. I chose to mount them on the ground just because I knew I was gonna put a ton of weight in these. So I didn't want that all just sitting on the wall. I wasn't comfortable with that. For the Pro, these large cabinets hold 1,000 pounds versus the Bold, I believe, holds 800 pounds. And for the Pro, these wall cabinets, I believe they hold 300 pounds each. I'm not sure about the Bold. But so for my system, I bought what you see here and another large cabinet. It all came together. I highly recommend garageorganization.com, which is where I purchased mine. The New Age website is terrible. I would not suggest purchasing there. You can find some of these on Costco, but Costco only sells certain configurations, maybe 3, 4, or 5 configurations between Bold and Pro. So garage organization has hundreds of combinations. So I would suggest going there. There's combinations there that I didn't even know about existed until I went on their site. They had really good customer service. I ordered, initially they used to only carry like red and gray or something like that, and white. Gray was probably the most popular. And I initially ordered this back in 2020, and black was released for the Pro right after I placed my order, or maybe like a month after I placed my order. And then I called garage organization and they were able to switch my order to black, even though black wasn't even on New Age's website yet. It was on their social medias where I saw the black available, and garage organization switched it, no problem. Black showed up at my door, no issues. So it was really a really great experience. So I'll give you guys a quick look into these cabinets. They hold a ton of stuff. Each one of these large cabinets comes with 4 shelves, and they are adjustable in 1-inch increments via these these movable shelving brackets. I believe each one of these comes with like rods that you can put across if you wanted to put clothing in there. There's also hooks that you can mount in there. Very well thought out and durable. And again, it comes fully assembled. You just gotta drop the shelves in and put the feet on. That's it. Screw on, I put on the countertop, bolted that in, bolted these cabinets together, but it's very simple. And again, you have the soft close, which is super nice. So here are the wall mounted cabinets. I have a bunch of small stuff in these just because they don't hold as much weight and they're not as deep. So you can see from the side profile that, so they measure about 13 to 14 inches in depth. So I have a bunch of documents in here, my repair manual, some body working stuff, all my aerosols, things like that. The lighter kind of stuff. The worktop I really love. A lot of people tend to get the bamboo, which does look nice, but I prefer stainless steel because I use a lot of chemicals, brake cleaners, that kind of thing. I like to clean it up. I don't want the wood to get, the wood of course is treated that they provide the bamboo where, it's not gonna just freely soak up, paints and that kind of stuff. But I know that it's not as durable as the stainless steel. So, I put the stainless steel through a lot. It's dented, it's scratched, but that's fine. That's what I wanted it for. Plus the stainless steel matches the silver color on all the handles. So I like that everything looks very uniform and clean. Here's a quick look into this cabinet. This is my main cabinet that I work out of. I have a bunch of junk in that cabinet because my other car is here most of the time and it blocks access to that one. So whereas this one I get access to at all times. And so this one I have all my fluids, my oils, my brake fluids, transmission fluids, that kind of thing. My vacuum and my air compressor. Holds a ton of stuff. Here's a look at the hooks that come with the large cabinets. And then my other large cabinet. Right here I have my car wash stuff, my towels and jack stands and car parts and stuff like that. One of the disappointing things about this house is that they put that water heater there. And so before I moved in, my plan was to put cabinets all across the front side. I probably would not have been able to fit this whole thing plus this one on the side, but it would have looked nicer and I would have had more access to all of it in the front if I could put it all there, but I could not because of that water heater. So I ended up having to put it on the wall side, which, like I said, I can't open that or any of these right down here just because the car is about 6 inches to less than a foot, maybe 6 to 10 inches away from the cabinets. So that's kind of disappointing, but it is what it is. So I have to have my setup like this in order to compensate for the water heater. So I'll go and get into the lower cabinets. You'll notice that these lower cabinets they're 3 different designs. I'm not sure, I can't remember if New Age makes more designs than that, but I wanted a few of these for various reasons. So this one, they all do different things. So this one just has 2 shelves, but the top shelf slides out. So if you want to access some heavy stuff, maybe, stuff is not exactly heavy, but it's just what I decided to put in here. I have my other tools down here. Then I'll show you this one on the side. So this one's cabinets slide out. One's a trash can, it comes with a trash can. And this other side is a parts bin organizer. So it comes with a parts bin organizer and comes with the blue bins. So you can see that it comes with 12 bins on each side, total of 24 bins. The parts bin organizer is super useful, and it's really nice that it cleans up. I used to have, in my old garage, I used to have a parts bin thing that used to just sit on my counter, and it's really nice to just have this be able to be out of sight whenever I want it. Of course, this one comes with an extra drawer on top. And this one has the most drawers, and I really like that how much they hold. Each drawer is not particularly deep. However, you'll see later that each drawer, it has slots in here because you can put in dividers in here and organize it. This one's kind of all over the place, but you'll see as we keep going. So it has these dividers that you can set them however you want. I just have a ton of junk, so it's nice to be able to separate them and kind of organize them in some way. Bottom one is the deepest, so I have the heaviest items in there, which is the lesser used tools like my large impact gun, my heat gun, grinder, that kind of thing. So that about does it for the New Age cabinets. It's my favorite part of the garage. I love the New Age cabinets. I feel like the Pro is a really great trade-off between the high-end cabinets, the cost of that some high-end cabinets can get to. Like I know the Obsessed Garage, I think, and some other guys, they use Sonic and all those other ones that are really, really expensive. If Costco is selling these, then it's a decent deal. So New Age kind of has that balance between cheap cabinets and expensive cabinets, that it's really, the quality is there, especially for the Pro. I think the Pro series, the thickness of the gauge and everything like that, it's really good, and it's gonna last a really long time, especially for me, because I'm especially the countertop, for the things that I do, working on things, hammering on things, and I need the extra depth of the countertop and everything like that. And if you're not doing a bunch of heavy duty work and stuff, you can easily get away with the Bold series. It's a little thinner gauge, you don't get the soft close cabinets and everything like that, and it's smaller, less storage, but maybe if you have more room, you can get more of the Bold cabinets and make up for the less storage that you get. But for me, since this is just a regular 2-car garage, I don't have a ton of room to stack Bold cabinets everywhere. So I wanted to get as much storage as I could with the smallest footprint. So getting into a little bit of the details here, they do provide you with these covers. This is just kind of a light shroud to hide any lights that you have behind there. Again, these lights I have behind are just some Amazon lights. Some Amazon LED that I have double sticky taped on there. This is not very clean, but I'm trying to figure out. Ideally, you know, I would put an outlet or something behind here, but I just haven't gotten around to doing that. But I'll get into like my tools and everything like that in another video. I'm just super happy with this. You know, so of course, if you have a wider workbench like this, you know, you kind of lose some space to store things. Like I could have just went too wide in here and had used this area for storage instead. But when I work on cars and stuff, sometimes there's some really long parts in here that I want to get in there. So I didn't want to be confined to two spots only. So this width I think is a really nice medium to get a lot of stuff done. All right, so my tool chest is a US General. This is Harbor Freight brand, as many of you probably know. This is a Series 1, so I got this a while ago before the Series 2 was available. So the Series 2 essentially looks the same except it's deeper, I believe. This one I have pretty filled to the brim. I've been thinking about trying to get another tool chest and sell this one, but you know, I'm kind of lacking on the space as well. So we'll see, I'll have to deal with this one, and that's why I have a few tools flooding into the new age cabinets. But this thing has served me pretty well over the years. I believe this one's 40 or 42 inches wide. It works really great for me. It being red, I thought about wrapping this, but I bought this at my old place before I even had black cabinets. So, and this is, I think maybe when I bought it, it was only available in red. I can't remember. Now Harbor Freight has all these different colors and everything like that. Nothing much else to say about this thing. It's a tool chest, it works. It's been great. The only problems I've had with it is that, you know, when I overload a drawer like this, it tends to not want to stay in, especially since my garage is slanted towards the opening. So some of these drawers sometimes want to open. So this one in particular, I had to put magnets behind it, so you can hear it kind of grab. That's the only modification I've had to do to this one. In the future, you know, I'll probably look into getting the Husky black tool chest. I like how they're black on black, and they've been getting better in quality lately. I get thicker gauge steel, soft close. I think I'm looking at probably like the 52 inch in the future. But right now, this US General Series 1 has been great. So over in the corner, I've just installed an Eley hose reel. This is like a budget Obsessed Garage right here. I went to Obsessed Garage website, and you know, if you're familiar with them, they're all about the Cox reels, which are super expensive, like 400 and up, I think. And the Cox reels are meant for pressure washer hoses. So on Obsessed Garage website, he says if you have a garden hose, he recommends Eley. So I went ahead and purchased this. I think they're located in Arizona. I'm pretty happy with the quality. Of course, considered, you know, all the hose reels on Amazon, but some of them didn't have great reviews, and so this one, US made, I believe, again in Arizona, and it's just really nice. The base plate comes spaced 16 inches wide for your studs, so you don't need any kind of adapter like that. This thing works really great. It has a tension on it built in, so you can pull the hose without it going loose. And when you want to freely, it has a brake on it, so you want to freely wind it in. You just hit this brake and then grab the handle and then wind it up, and then hit the brake again. So this has been nice to clear up my floor of the hose. Used to just wrap the hose, put it on top of the water softener barrel. The other item I recently got for my garage is a ReelWorks 50-foot retractable extension cord. Comes with 3 prongs on the end. And this has been great just because for the longest time, I had just a extension cord coiled up on top of this area right here. I just recently organized it, but and that was annoying. So it's nice to actually have something that can just extend, 50 foot. So it obviously reaches to the end of my garage, any part of my garage and beyond. It has a nice break on it, so it holds where it is. I decided to mount it on the wall. I really considered mounting it on the ceiling right here and plugging it in where the garage door opener is plugged in. However, that's right in the middle of the garage and I tend to angle my car right in the middle. I didn't want the cord coming right down on top of the car, while I'm on a big project or something like that. So I decided to put it here, which is working out pretty good. I can also use this wherever any of the cars are oriented, and so it works out pretty great. So this is, I have one set of tires here. I do have a Tire Rack brand tire rack that's wall mounted. However, I haven't installed it in this house yet. Not sure where I want to put it. Also, ever since I bought that tire rack, I did some research and found out how it's not necessarily the greatest to store wheels with tires mounted on them on a wall mounted tire rack, because it can, if you store it on there for a long time, you can, flat spot the tires or damage the rubber from it sitting on pressure points on the tire rack. So I read that it's best to store wheels with tires on their side like this. So that's how I'm storing these right now. I might put the tire rack up in the future. I have some beater OEM wheels I picked up for like 50 bucks that I might, my buddy's borrowing them right now. So I might, once I get them back, put the tire rack up somewhere if I can find room. But yeah, otherwise I'll just have a small refrigerator for some water bottles, just in case for those times where I'm too dirty or whatever to go inside and grab a cup of water. Got some water bottles, or for guests, even better yet, when people come by, visit, offer them a water. Over here, I mounted our GoTrax electric scooters. So for these, I use these typical bike rack hooks, wall mount. However, I had to modify them by cutting probably about inch and a half off of the hook. And of course, obviously a spacer on the wall mount, just because the top of the scooters was too close, not able to hook in without that spacer. So it's nice to get those out of the way and on the wall. And on this side, don't have much, just some banners, a shoe organizer from IKEA, and my jack stands and my ladder. Sorry, not jack stands, and my jacks and my ladder. All 3 of these are Arcan jacks. Served me well. This metal one right here is the oldest one. Bought that in around 2003, so maybe 19 years ago. Still works pretty good. I filled it up with oil just once, but I use that as a backup just because it's so old. So I bought this new one off of Amazon. I bought the steel, so these 2 are aluminum, and I bought the black steel one off of Amazon also. Good to have backup. Sometimes you do need 2 jacks. This one, actually the oldest one, works great for, it's actually, because it's so old, it's actually a little bit lower. So these should be, I think, the same model, these 2. But this one, being so old, the saddle has just kind of drooped at the tiniest bit, and it allows me to get under certain low cars when I can't, when I forgot to put it on a ramp or something like that. So yeah, that's about it. Just got some organization back here for the brooms, and I guess I can show you guys the hidden junk I have back here. Some bungee cords, face shield, respirator, some extra shelves that I'm not using for these large cabinets. I store my ramps underneath there. Some extra tools that are too big to put anywhere. Lastly, the lighting situation. It's a budget setup. Also, its brand is Sunco. I bought it off of Amazon. These are 5,000 Kelvin color. This house only came with 2 front lights, and I replaced them all with 4 Sunco 5,000, added these 2 in. Had an issue with deciding whether to put the lights either like in this trough up here or back here. Obviously, if they're right up here, it's kind of blocking. You can see there's a shadow right there, right? Because of this ledge. It does cast a little bit of a shadow, and not having lights back there and not having these lights sit off of the ceiling at all. It ended up working pretty good. Like in this setup, there's a decent amount of light in here. It actually used to be too bright where it hurt my eyes. I wasn't used to it. But now I'm completely used to it and I love it. So yeah, you can kind of see it's a little bit dark in the backside, but I do have to use a light sometimes still. But overall, I'm pretty happy with these. And I'll link everything in the description. The lights, the new age cabinets, the hose reels, the electric extension cord reels. So that about does it for this garage tour. As far as future plans for the garage, I'd love to get some type of lift situation in here since I work on the car so much. You know, it would be, I do put it at an angle in the garage like this. And if I had like some kind of lift, I could lift it up in its spot right here and not be able to, not have to move my other car. But you know, these low ceilings kind of kills a lot of the options. I could do quick jack, which is a high possibility. It's pretty inexpensive, you know, 1,500-ish, which is not bad. I would love to get some type of 4-post in here. However, you know, if I put a 4-post, this corner post would probably be somewhere around here. Might block the shoe storage and kind of kill access through here. It looks like I would be good lifting up. Obviously, I wouldn't be able to lift up very far with the garage open, but I'm mostly doing work with the garage closed anyway, so that wouldn't really be an issue. But this is a low ceiling, but this car is low enough where I'd be able to get it high enough to do some decent work underneath the car. At the very least, be able to drop the engine, which is one thing that I would love to be able to do. So that's an option. Of course, lifts are really expensive right now during the pandemic. But we'll see about that. You know, I'd probably only consider, if it's not a quick jacks, I probably only consider a 4-post just because I'm not gonna be able to drill into the slab. So with a 4-post, you know, you're able to put it in here without drilling just because it's 4-post. So I'll have to look into that in the future, but that's an expensive option that I'll have to think about for a while and try to decide what I want to do. But for now, my garage is pretty well set up for my liking. And yeah, so next time, like I said, I'll go through in a separate video, but I'll go through all the tools that I have, some special tools that you all might think are interesting, tools that I can recommend and things like that. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching.